What's B2 Capital G here, looking at a brand new artifact monster coming out in Extreme Force called Artifact Mjolnir. Yes, that is exactly like Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. And yes, I believe that this is Vegeta from Dragon Ball Super on the artwork. Konami, I'm not sure if you guys know what copyright infringement is, but y'all about to get sued by Marvel and Akira Toriyama. But anyways, let's look at what this artifact does, because this seems like it kind of came out of nowhere, just like one random artifact card, and it's okay, but if Konami's not planning something else that I'm going to allude to in a minute, I think that this card is really bad. So let's go ahead. It's Artifact Mjolnir. Obviously, it's a light fairy because that's what artifacts are. Level 5, 1300 attack, 1800 defense. So his stat line is kind of jank. It's not like that good, similar to like morale attack, where at least it's like, you know, most standard monsters can't beat over it. This is a monster that anything your opponent normal summons, from a Candina to whatever, can pretty much run this over. The third effect is a hard once per turn. The first two effects are basically built into all artifact monsters. Obviously, you can set this card from your hand into your spell and trap zone, because that's what artifacts do. And then during your opponent's turn, if this card is set in the spell and trap zone and is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you get to special summon it, because again, that's what artifacts do. The third effect is what makes every artifact monster unique, from Beguile attacks, blow up cards on your side of the field, to morale attacks, blow up a monster, or excuse me, blow up a card on the field that is face up without targeting. So this guy says, if this card is special summoned during your opponent's turn, target one artifact monster in your graveyard. Special summon it in defense position. Also, you cannot special summon monsters until the end of your next turn except artifact monsters. I was so with this card until that very last part. I was like, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so it's basically kind of like a artifact Oasis of the Dragon Souls. Like, okay, this is pretty good. Or Back to the Front, something very similar to that. Getting another artifact from the graveyard, not really good in the early game, but you know, artifacts are kind of a grindy deck by nature anyways. I was like, that's not bad. But then when it had to give the, you know, the limitation of I can only special summon monsters until my next end phase that are artifact monsters, I was like, oh man, are you serious? And here's the problem, right? There's only one artifact Xyz monster, unless Konami is planning something crazy that none of us see coming, because let's be real, it's not like Konami's spamming out the Xyz monsters right now that we're in the Vrain's era. I mean, we're 3 sets into this. How many Xyz monsters have you really seen? Unless Konami is planning on giving artifacts a link monster, there is just, this restriction is too damn much. Because even if you're not like me, right? Because I honestly think the best card artifacts really go into Xyz wise a lot of times is Pallades, not even Artifact Durandal. Artifact Durandal is all they can make with this card as of right now. You know, you can't go into the Volcasaurus play, you can't go into Pallades, you can't go into any of your other utility rank 5 Xyz monsters, and you know, it doesn't matter if you think Artifact Durandal is still the best one for artifacts. You need to be able to go into those other cards in any given situation. If your opponent has a big monster on the board and their life points are low, you might want to go on the Volcasaurus. If you have a Call to Haunted that has been flipped face up, you might want to go into Pallades to bounce your Call to Haunted and bring back a morale attack to pop another card, keep your offense going. There may be situations where, you know, Durandal is the best choice, but with this card, with Mjolnir, you know, Durandal is your only choice. So if Konami plans on giving artifacts a link monster in the Link Vrains pack, okay, well then this card is, you know, it might be saved by that link monster. But as of right now, I think this card is actually not useful, like, I'm not going to say at all, but it's not very useful, because Artifact Durandal, who even is really going into that all that often in 2017 to begin with, and for it to be the only card you can go into, yeah, it kind of cuts the abilities of this card. So you guys let me know, because maybe you guys disagree, but I don't know. I feel like Konami has to give the archetype a link monster because they restricted it so much. You know, if it could have just been, I don't know, you can only summon light monsters until the end of the night. And maybe that would have been okay, because then you could still go into Pallades and you can do some other shit. But to only go into artifact monsters when there's only one artifact exceed, like, get the fuck out of here. This is not like Teller Knights, where Teller Knights have like 6, you know, different exceeds. Like, artifacts have 1. So anyways, whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and of course turn on those notifications for daily videos.